the NATO summit where Donald Trump is securing bigger percentages. He's like, hey, Spain, I want 5% of your GDP, okay? He's securing bigger percentages, trying to lock in more funding there for NATO. Okay, you guys want NATO? Great. Well, you're going to have to contribute. You're going to have to pay up. You're going to have to pay your fair share in a real way. Well, there was this funny moment where, have you heard the Call Me Daddy podcast? It was kind of like a little reference to that. So Trump like went with it. He totally went with it. He was like, what? Okay, I'm going to play you the original sound, but I'm going to tell you, one of the reporters was like, wait a second, was the NATO head trying to call you daddy? What did that mean exactly? And instead of saying it meant nothing, like he was just sort of, talking about a situation that I'll show you in a moment. Trump totally went with it. He must know that Call Me Daddy is a popular podcast because it's now the new Call Me Daddy. Call Me Daddy, one Donald Trump. Watch.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionately. Daddy, you're my daddy.
You're my daddy. He didn't exactly say that, but I think Trump's onto something. Call me daddy. Here's the actual soundbite of Mark Rutte, NATO head, speaking with Donald Trump. And they're actually talking about trying to basically get everyone on the same page and how hard that is in international affairs and in diplomacy. And, sometimes you kind of got to act like, the bit of the dad in this situation. I'll let you listen to the sound.
I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. They fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes do strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
I think we have to join the others.
Okay, so that was the daddy reference. So clearly the reporter's making something more of it. But Trump's like, hey, why not? Hey, call me daddy. He likes me, right? The other thing I would point out, though, is that he is making something really clear, that sometimes there needs to be an adult in the room, especially when it comes to these negotiations. And that's historically the role that the United States has played. He's frustrated with a lot of parties right about now. He is talking as well, he mentioned, to Zelensky. Don't forget that whole scene. We went through that, you and me, right, in real time, as he chided Zelensky for not coming to some kind of deal, but has since said, he's working with Putin as well to try to get something underway. Here he is just speaking about Israel and Iran in the moments before the ceasefire had initially begun. There was that 12-hour window, and so some things happened. He was not happy at all.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the doing. Do you understand that?
I actually wanted to play that all the way through the end as he walked off. You could hear the frustration in his voice. So he wants to secure peace here. He's not willing to deal with a bunch of, people saying one thing and doing another. And he's making that clear. And he's playing fair, which is also really important. He's not saying, okay, I got one kid that I prefer in all this. I'm going to hold you both to a very strict standard. So I would just say, the whole thing has been brilliantly played. It's tragic for some people that have died in this. And, look, we hate that. We don't want war. We don't want conflict. But if you have an opportunity to take out a nuclear Iran, as he believed he did, I would just say that is something that he did not want to ignore and could not ignore. And so hopefully the world is a safer place as a result of that, right? And you have only to look at the market for the last 3 days. I was looking at the futures market on Sunday night. We were positive. We were higher. Why were we higher? We were higher because the markets believed that this was, in fact, a very good thing for the economy, for the world, and for the safety of the world. And so as a result, you saw oil declining. Now I look at the market today. We are pretty much flat. The NASDAQ up about 0.2%. And oil slightly higher, but again, just slightly higher, up about 1%. So I would just remind you again that there's a belief out there. And this is not me saying this or trying to analyze the particular biases of various intel groups. This is the stock market saying that. And I think that's really, really important, guys. A reminder, you can go check 76 Research. So you can tell, I'm at my parents' house. The phone's ringing in the background. How do you like that? This is what you call live, baby. Really, really, really live. And by the way, I'm going to have to go soon because my parents are going to want back in. But before I do, a quick shout out again to one of our show sponsors. Let me get the camera back on. Here we are with American Hartford Gold. You can go to trishlovesgold.com, up to $15,000 in free silver with qualifying offers. Text Trish to 655-3218-444-95-1115. You know, peace of my mind. I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry I did not get to your story. We're going to have to save that for later in the week. Peace of my mind. I credit Peace of my mind with this. Peace of my mind sending me a story on Rachel Zegler possibly taking over for they're doing some kind of biopic movie on Julie Andrews, you know, Sound of Music, Mary Poppins, really for the more modern crowd, Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway. Oh, Julie Andrews, My Fair Lady, is phenomenal. I mean, I'm more of an operatic singer than Julie Andrews, but she had that really sweet spot for musical theater. And apparently, according to Peace of My Mind, and I checked this out, you're right. We'll talk about this a little bit tomorrow. They're talking about Rachel Zegler for that gig. And I'm like, no. I said to my producer, please tell me it's not true. Oh, do you really? I mean, whatever. So we'll get into that a little bit. We were talking about poor Rachel Zegler, the Snow White disaster for Disney that just can't seem to figure out anything. She's got a gig right now over in London playing the role of Evita, which is rather fitting, right? Evita, another socialist, a socialist that came to Buenos Aires and ruined it until Malay came in. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Anyway, we will get to some of those stories and more tomorrow. Guys, I read all of your comments. Balance of nature. Oh my gosh. Did I forget Peace of My Mind? Peace of My Mind. I think we're going to get you on the production staff here. Peace of My Mind is reminding me that I forgot to talk about balance in nature today, which is important to do because why? We love our sponsors on this show. We really do. And the sponsors are everything because, again, we're number, 62 or something in the climbing. I think we were number 80-something last week. So here on the podcast, imagine that. Balance in Nature. Go there. You can get 35% off with code word Trish. Call them at 1-800-246-8751, 1-800-246-8751, code word Trish, 35% off. I take the fruits and veggies. They get all kinds of good stuff on there. You don't have to take the fruits and veggies. That's what they send me. So anyway, 35% off. Use code word dollar. Okay, guys? Forgive me. What am I saying? Code word Trish. Code word dollar is 76. We got a lot of ads today, right? What's going on? This must be a good thing, right? We're climbing in the ranks and we get more ads. So Balance in Nature, just a wonderful company. And drink your water, eat well, get your exercise, and take your vitamins. Balance in Nature. Those are what I like. Thank you. Rachel Zegler has half of Julie's vocal range. Don Bacca making a comment on the, I like to talk music now and then. There's the piano behind me. We were talking about that the other day. Folks were like, oh my gosh, you play piano. Yes, I play piano. In fact, I learned to play the piano before I could learn to read. So I learned to read music before I could actually read. I only knew A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, and back to do. Okay, that was it. Those were the notes I could read on the piano, and those were the letters I knew before anything. So that's a new piano. My parents actually just got that, but we had one that was kind of similar. Not a Steinway. Now, you guys asked. It was a Steinert. A Steinert. It's kind of like a cheap Steinway. But anyway, I digress. Half of Julie's vocal range, Rachel Zegler, I don't know, I think she's decent, Don. I want to go back and listen to the live Evita thing to see if she was really in tune or not, but she's decent enough. I mean, for a ingenue from New Jersey, right? But she's no Julie Andrews for sure. Julie Andrews was extremely talented. I love that you guys are here. Thank you for all you do to make this program such a success. We're going to be back here, hopefully with a little bit better audio. I just ordered a part. It's going to be sent via Amazon, right? Because we're not shopping at Walmart. I'm teasing. Anyway, we'll see that here tomorrow. So thank you for all you guys do, and we will chat soon.